Dun, 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 dun. See, I composed that music just for Tony George. He likes the elevator music, but I like to poke the bear, so I, made that music for him there.
That's all right. That's all right. You can't ruin my mood. You can't ruin my mood today, man. We got the World Series on Friday set. The NBA tips off tonight. We got college football every day of the week when it's not Monday. Sunday, I'm loving it. So,
and what a full slate of hockey.
Fire me up, Tony.
I'm in the Midwest, much like Griffin. Look at Griffin's got hoodie weather going on.
Yeah,
it's cold and blustery here in Kansas City. The leaves are turning. The wind's blowing. It's 48 degrees. Baby, it's time.
Just so you guys know, it's only 70 in Vegas right now. Okay, it's just 70 in Vegas. I did when I took the kids to school this morning. I did have a hoodie on. I mean, shorts and flip flop. But I'm sensitive. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. I got it takes a lot to make this guy look good. I'm just saying. Doc's Dailies, where you are. Doc's Dailies, what you're watching. We're here Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern. Griffin and I do a Saturday show at 11 a.m. Eastern before football kickoff on Saturday. We got everything on deck. I like a lot of hockey today. I know everybody's excited about NBA tipping off. I'm not a big NBA guy anyways, so it's a wait and see. I'm taking my cues from these two knuckleheads. Stuff like that. But I'm treading lightly through the tulips, as Tony would say.
Yeah, you have to this time of year. The NBA, again, I just want to tell everybody it's different for every guy. And Griffin might be totally different than me and Scott Spreitzer.
I know where you're going. We're on the same page.
Yeah, 100%.
Folks, I'm telling you, the NBA prop market is where it's at. You look at games on the board, and by the way, what I meant by mentioning Griff and Scott and Indian Cowboy, Nick, any of these guys,
all of them
on the website, the day that I go on a video and give you a free lean and say there's nothing worth a shit worth betting today, could be a day that Vernon's got a 3-pack with a 7-unit headliner.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But I'm just saying that's how I read them.
Yep.
Now, when I say there's 7 NBA games, I don't like any of them side or total. But each one of those games has 30 or 40 props in it. I'm going to find value somewhere in those games that you can have action on, that I'm going to have action on. And that's one something tonight. And I'll give you an example and a free play right now. I'm just going to steal the show because that's what I do. I'm a show stealer.
Griffin, me and you are going to go down to the bar. Ready, go.
So if you didn't tune into the video channel today, for instance, tonight, Golden State, LA, who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? Now, I did take Golden State on the under for season win totals, 46.5, because of their aging roster. You look at Curry, Butler, they're 38 and 36 years old. They picked up Al Horford from Boston. He's 97 years old.
I was just going to say, I think he played on that 90s championship run.
He played in 79 for Jim Valvano. And then Draymond Green, all these guys. And you look at the Western Conference and the teams that are rising and the team who won the NBA championship last year, and they're all young. You're going to have guys sitting through attrition during the year, and it's going to affect you. And that being said, I don't like that game tonight. I couldn't buck against LA. LA's a 3-headed monster tonight. It's going to be Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, and Hachimura. And Hachimura, over 12.5 points, is a gift. Because LeBron's out. They have shitty backup forwards. He's going to be featured. He's going to get at least 30 minutes tonight. And this is a guy that averaged 13 points per game last year. And in his first 2 full seasons in LA, has hit 41% from beyond the arc. I'll take him over 12.5 points in a home opener tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to run to the window for any NBA side or total probably for a few weeks, but props, I got a handful of props in the NBA going out tonight. Absolutely. And it's the same thing with the NHL. Just started a week and a half ago, give or take a day. I'm big into props. I got a handful of props every day in the NHL. Big slate of NHL on today. Big slate. And now I know I kind of got a feel of what some teams will be, what they won't be. Kind of a little bit, sort of. At least I think I do. So I'll start betting sides this week coming up. But really right now, hockey props are a thing. Hockey props are an income. They're very soft as well. I think prop market in general is very soft. Griffin, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking a lot of things over here, Lenny, but first and foremost, we can go back to the NBA really quick. And this is something that Tony touches up on a lot in a lot of sports, and something that I have learned my lesson one too many times and no longer do so. And that is same thing with every sport just starting up. NHL starting off the season very, very slow, cherry picking very small games, really waiting it out until you get a obviously read on these teams. And that's the same thing I do in the NBA. There's a lot of cluster going on for tonight in the NBA slate. There's really no value tonight. I use a lot of my first initial 2 weeks, I would say, into the season for NBA using personal psychology, looking at the line, looking at the total, looking at the speculation, looking at who was out last season, looking who's back and starting, like Embiid, for example, for Philadelphia tomorrow. I just did a free play on that game. So there's a lot of things I find in that situation. So for me, early on in the NBA season, I find the most value in total plays because they're based on speculation, guys being veteran teams, slower moving, more competitive games that drag out unders, which psychologically bring out to the total of an over. So there's a lot of things that I use in that example I wanted to throw out there, Lenny.
I like that. I don't hate that at all. I mean, and to Tony's point, and this is the last time I'm going to give him credit for anything on this show because it's 30 minutes and it's been 7 minutes. Okay. So I'm just saying he has a good point in the fact that we're like 31 flavors, Baskin Robbins is as he uses that reference all the time. And that's a true statement for real. Like you'll see somebody that will go, I don't like today's card. I got one small play. That's it. I want to get till tomorrow. And it doesn't matter if it's a Tuesday or a Saturday. It doesn't matter. That's just their opinion. And then you got another guy that'll look at it and go, whew, I don't know how I'm going to limit it to 10. You know what I mean? Something like that, So you have to each their own. You got your prop guys. You got your side total guys. You got your future guys. You got your NBA guys. You got your NHL guys. You do you, Pikachu, which brings me to this.
Well, let's look at we got to go back to Baskin Robbins because I've got breaking news.
I got ice cream already last night. It was my anniversary. That's what I got.
Here's the deal. Now, when I grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska as a pup and with the wife and got married, she worked at a hair salon that was next to a Baskin Robbins. And they had a ice cream flavor there called Chocolate Mousse Royale. And this stuff was better than lobster, better than prime rib. It was better than caviar. It was better than anything you ever ate. And then it disappeared. Well, the other day, there's a Jersey Mike's here in Kansas City and a Baskin Robbins next door. And she wanted to go in to get a little cone. I go, I'm not eating there. They don't have chocolate. I walked in, Chocolate Mousse Royale. This is bigger than when the McRib gets released.
Why did you tell me? I could have played the breaking news. Breaking news, Baskin Robbins. Tony George is breaking news right now.
Chocolate Mousse Royale is back. I've got 2 quarts in my refrigerator at $11 a quart, and I don't give a frick. I don't care if it's $31 a quart. There's going to be 2 in my fridge, and you're going to see my face start to explode and blow up as I look like Brendan Fraser in the movie The Whale. I don't give a shit. Chocolate Mousse Royale's back.
Oh, Diane is
bigger than the McRib.
Hey, Diane.
There you go. Diane, look right there, baby.
She says yes.
Yeah, that's it, Diane. You know what I'm talking about, girlfriend.
Chocolate Mousse Royale is delicious, Diane says.
Oh.
Show went off the rails. I'm telling you right now.
I don't work for Baskin Robbins, which I did. I could be a blogger, an influencer for Baskin-Robbins. If you're paying attention, nice job. I want the guy with the big bicep running that scoop. I want that deep into that thing and pulling out a big chunk and putting it on that sugar cone. Come on.
With the big bicep.
Big biceps. Oh, that's awesome.
I can't even.
Listen, there's a lot of things you can use that free 60 on. You cannot use it at Baskin-Robbins, okay? But what you can use that free 60 on is any one of these guys is free, or I should say premium plays with that free 60. Use that $60. Get on any handicapper. You choose prop, pass, a season pass, day pass, week pass. You do you. And then after you win with that capper, you take your ass down to Baskin-Robbins. You get the chocolate mousse royale. You take a picture. You post it on Twitter. You tag Doc Sports.
That's right.
And we will like that. We will like that
bad boy.
Boom.
You don't like it, if you don't love it, I'll reimburse you for the cone.
Ooh.
I will tell you right now, it's
deliciousness guaranteed.
Get on there. I had a little. Well, I ate a little ham sandwich before I got on the air, and I just reached in the refrigerator, put it in there like that, and just took a couple scoops out of it, not making myself a bowl so I don't feel guilty. But I did get a couple of teaspoons of that bad boy. That's a little wound up right now for the show.
I could tell, but the people love you, Tony, and they know what they love.
Hey, Lenny, I did want to mention hats off to your Lions last night. Great win. Great win. I had Tampa Bay, my only loss all week in the NFL. But let me tell you something about the late game. If I'd have told either one of you guys that a team on a Monday Night Football game had 4 turnovers, allowed a defensive touchdown, missed a field goal, and had 12 effing penalties, you would say there's no way they covered, and Seattle did. Unbelievable. Yeah. That's how bad Houston is.
Can we talk about how bad CJ Stroud is? This kid is absolutely.
Well, he's got no line, Griff.
He is so bad. He cannot hit a target if his life depends on it. He is scared to run in the pocket, and he has legs, never runs with his feet. This kid looked absolutely atrocious. And on top of that, this offensive line for Houston. And they have no run game whatsoever no talented backs. Houston falling off a cliff this season. And D'Amico Ryan looks lost out there.
Yeah, he has all year. I think he goes before Mike McCarthy.
During the game, he said, what do we do on offense? He didn't even know what to do.
I don't know. Right. I don't know. You can't do that. You gotta be the guy. And
Seattle's defense is solid. I get that. But we've talked about this all year long on the Gridiron Show, here on this show, other things I've done, free plays, which, by the way, if you tune into Doc's YouTube channel, I gave you Seattle last night for the free play. 3,900 of you tuned in. Appreciate it. By the way, I expect all 3,900 of you to send me a gift certificate to Baskin-Robbins so I can get some more chocolate mousse royale.
Who doesn't want it?
That being said, you got that one for free last night, and the big cap was in the game. I didn't know CJ Stroud was going to look like a deaf mute, but their offensive line has more holes in it than Swiss cheese, and nothing is going to change.
I'll say this: the next team that CJ Stroud plays for will go to the playoffs. He'll take them to a playoff game.
Another thing,
he won't do it in Houston. It's just you're going to see it like down. I think he's a fundamentally good quarterback. I think he's a little on the smaller side, but I think he's a fundamentally good quarterback. But that system and that place, he's had his moment at Houston. It's time for different changes. Scenery.
The thing of it was, if you
look, no offensive line. You're right, Tony. Though their line might be the worst.
Griff and I talked about this last year on the Gridiron Six-Pack, which, by the way, went 6-0.
Yep.
The Gridiron Six-Pack went 6-0 last week.
We'll be up pounds back
tomorrow. You tune in, be there, be square. Okay?
Right.
But the thing of it, we talked about it when he had Mixon at running back and they had a big running threat. Yeah. He could move the ball around. They have Chubb is done. The new guy, the rookie, he's not ready for prime time. and they can't block for jack shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But something I also want to talk about is this Seattle team is under the radar, and they are a lot better than people think they are. Charbonnet at the running back position, he's going to start taking way more carries than Kenneth Walker. I'll tell you that. This guy's an absolute beast load. He looks like a faster form of a Derrick Henry. The guy's just explosive. Speedster. Sam Darnold found his home finally, and they even talked about it yesterday. Moved his wife out there, bought his first house, settling in, really honing in as a Seattle Seahawk. I loved hearing that. The Seattle team is way better than people expect. Their defensive interior, that pass rush is there. Their secondary is there. I'm excited to see where this team goes. They have been putting it on teams and doing it with ease. And like Tony said, this team had 4 turnovers yesterday. What was it? 12 penalties you mentioned. Still managed to win this game by 8 points. They blew them out in that fashion too.
They're well coached. That coach is a good coach. He's a good coach. And
I think that's a sound team.
Yeah, and I said in the video too yesterday, there are 4 or 5 stadiums in the NFL that truly hold a 3-point value. Seattle being one of them, Kansas City being one. You could Arrowhead's very difficult to come in. Any player will tell you that. They've all said it. But I'm just telling you, Seattle, when you get up there in that stadium, they're rabid fans up there. That's insane. That place was packed with the Mariners in the ALCS Game 7. It still was packed. I'm just saying that's going to be a tough nut for anybody, and they're going to win that they're going to win that division.
Agreed.
Absolutely. I think it's between them and the Rams. I don't think San Francisco holds on for anything.
They're too beat up.
And the Rams, I mean,
no one's running away with it, but they can win that division.
The Rams are the other team that a lot of people aren't talking about right now. That's one of the top contenders in my power ratings, is one of the best teams in the NFL right now as well.
They're sneaky good. I can't bet against Matt Stafford. Tony, you got a promo code? What's the promo? Money Machine or 10?
Put one out tomorrow on the
We're
gridiron.
putting one up tomorrow on the Gridiron 6-pack. Alex, good name. Alex, that's my son's name. Thank you very much. But Alex, tune into the Gridiron 6-pack. We'll post one up. We change it every week.
Yeah.
This week it was Money Machine, which you were with me in the NFL. It was. If you're with me in college, I dumped, unfortunately. But 3-3 weekend and kind of no blood. One top play hits, the other one doesn't. But nonetheless, we'll have a promo code for you tomorrow. I'm going to keep the alcohol theme. I think we're probably going to go with.
You're not going to get any complaints on us.
We're going to go with Jim Beam 10. I'm going to see if I can get a sponsorship out of Jim Beam for Docs. So I'm going to go with the Jim Beam 10. I'm going to put that in tomorrow.
Tony,
you're awful.
Limited Jimmy B. That is a dangerous lifestyle, Tony.
I'll tell you right now.
You tried to tag along in Vegas with my lifestyle. It didn't work out very well.
All right. Listen, Tony's got demands. He wants green M&Ms, Jim Beam, and Baskin Robbins. Okay, and then he will show up to any party anywhere.
and the chocolate, Royale.
Any Cabana girls cannot wear a full back bottom. It's got to be French cut at least.
Here we go.
Hey, I got one for you.
Here we go. See how wholesome we started with Baskin Robbins. Then we went to Jim Beam, and then we got to wardrobes at Cabana.
I mean,
now we got Cabana. Let's go back. Let's go to Dixie a minute. I want to get Griffin's take on this. I bet a $500 season win total yesterday in the NBA, and they're my favorite team this year that I think is going to make a lot of noise, and that's the Atlanta Hawks. I like them this year. I like Trae Young. I like Dyson Daniel. Now they got Kristaps Porzingis. Calm down, folks. The guy gets hurt when he bends over to tie his shoe. He pulls a hammy. He's out 6
I knew you were going to say that.
But they got Jalen Johnson, Alexander Walker, Kennard, Snyder's coach. This is going to be a good team. They came on last year, Griff. I think this is a year. Their win total was 46.5 over -115.
Oh man, I mean, I like the win total definitely, and they definitely have stacked on momentum for sure for this team. But at the same time, I think that win total, it's just a massive gap from last season, and with them stacking on the additions that they did stack on, it does kind of raise some eyebrows for me going into the season. I don't hate it, and I don't love it at the same time, to be completely honest with you, Tony.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Everybody has their own opinion. You're wrong, but you have your opinion. I know. But unlike the Republicans and the Democrats, I will accept your opinion, and it doesn't piss me off one way or the other. This isn't politics. This is somebody drinking a beer, taking a piss over a fence.
But you know how I handicap my games, Tony, and I use a lot of personal psychology inside of that. And I like to fade public, and I like to fade big headline speculation. And that's actually brings me to my point really quick. Not to dodge anything. Tomorrow on the Gridiron Six Pack, I do want to talk about, if you guys were on my play tuned into this show right now, my 8-unit game of the year loser on Sunday with Tennessee. I am going to cover up and talk about that game tomorrow on the Gridiron Six Pack. So make sure you tune into that, because I'm going to give you guys every single reason on why I took them. And you guys will be able to get inside of my mind and understand kind of how I handicap my games, whether it's using my algorithm, eye test, as well as personal psychology, which I do master psychology. But we'll get into that tomorrow on the Gridiron Six Pack.
Oh, shit. I got to send plays out yet.
Yeah, you do got to send play. I don't know who we're talking about yet.
There's a game this weekend I want your take on.
All right.
I'm going to make you do it. Missouri Vandy.
I'm going to make you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's roll. Let's rock and roll.
What's going to happen in that? What's going to happen there?
Pavia, that asshole. All right. Leave it at that. Leave it at that. Kid's a good quarterback.
You tell Griffin Murphy carries no bitterness from week to week.
None. No bitter party one. So Jack, I'm on the draw in this particular game. The Oilers did start out a little slower, talk a little NHL, but I like a lot of NHL today. So
yeah, I'm on 3.
Yeah, I'm on a few player props. I'm on a few team in regulation, and then this the only draw I got was on that Oilers team. Jack, I'm surprised you brought it up, so yeah, that's where I'm at. Alex, tomorrow by 3:00 Eastern, the Gridiron Six Pack will have you a promo code, and you can use that. They come out Wednesdays for the week for football, obviously, and then Diane, there's a playlist on our YouTube channel. If you go to the playlist, that is Sports Betting 101. It's pretty, or I think it's Sports Betting Strategies or something listed, labeled like that. I'm not 100%.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it's
listed over the years. I don't know how recent they are, Diane, but
I don't know how recent, but
one thing I will tell you, flat bet, low volume. Flat bet means same amount of money on every play for the most part. Keep your volume low. You know, and now everybody wants top pick. Everybody wants to hit the lottery. Everybody wants to be a Powerball winner. I get it. And there's a lot of attractive sales hooks out there online everywhere. At Docs, we keep the hype down because nobody sweats those big plays out more than I do. I know Griff does too. We've been together when we both had them, and we're just train wrecks because we know everybody jumped on board, and there's a lot of money up for grabs. But flat betting means, like, if you're a $50 or $100 player, that means if there's 3 picks that day, you bet $100 each across the board. Minus, usually we try and keep the VIG. Spread betting's minus 110 unless you buy a hook or something. And when it comes to money line wagering, you never want to lay over minus 140. Don't get yourself in trouble. And also, a lot of the time, you know, that way you build up your bankroll slowly. And then when you got one of those 6-unit picks, let's say now in that game, we want you to put 300 on instead of 100. But we know that you build up your bankroll. And it's just a process of doing that. And that's kind of how you slowly approach it. But there should be, as Lenny mentioned, on our Sports Betting 101 series or whatever, there's a bunch of how-to stuff on there. Go read about it.
I was going to
There's some very good videos on there, just in
you can
general.
Read about that while you're eating your chocolate mousse royale, since you love it as much as I do.
Exactly. And then you know what you got to do? You got to snap a selfie, put it on Twitter, and then tag Doc Sports and Tony George. and then he will then reimburse you for your chocolate mousse royale.
There you go.
While you're giving that video a thumbs up. Diane says, thank you, guys.
Going back to Tony's point, it is something that I do really want to emphasize on heavily. Tony, I feel like we need to do like a 20, 30-minute show and basically just go over this. I know you've done it in the past, but I don't think that our customers really are sticking heavily enough to what we are putting out on our unit sizes. You guys don't understand how truly important it is when we put a 2-unit selection out and a 3-unit selection out. Because right now in NFL or in football combined right now, I'm up $4,000 on the season. The amount of hate and trash, and it's all good, I completely understand, that I have received from my one bad weekend this season is absolutely insane. We're still up $4,000 on the season, hitting nearly 70% across the entire year. Went 1-3 this weekend, and now I'm the worst capper.
What have you done for me lately? Yeah,
you have to. They're not educated, and the problem is like nobody wants to watch a like last night's video on the. I'll give you an example, and Lenny tracks this shit. So my video was about 6 minutes long on the game last night. I gave you numerous reasons why and how and this, that, and the other, and they just fast forward through a lot of the stuff and the mentality of it just to see who I'm taking. Instead of actually listening, like my NBA free play video I just put up tonight on the game. I talked about the props, how to approach that market, why this game to me has no single value whatsoever when it comes to the Warriors and Lakers on an opener. You don't know, it's like opening up a box of Cracker Jacks. If you're my age, you didn't know what the prize was going to be. There's just a prize in there. So, it's amazing to me that they put emphasis on big plays, which is why, by the way, with 60,000 followers on this channel, over 10,000 on Twitter, and all the other outlets I'm on, that I'm the lowest common denominator of human filth, and like I'm worse than like Ed Ginn killing all those people up in Milwaukee because I lost a freaking 7-unit play on Texas Tech. The previous 3 weeks, I won them all. You didn't hear a word. Now you got, and they MF you all the way to the bank, all the way to the river. And then you go unbeaten on Sunday. You could hear Evan pin drop, and I won them back all their money except a couple $100.
Yep.
You got to stay the course. That's, if Diane's still watching, stay the course.
Stay the course, Diane.
Keep that even.
That's
that's exactly what you need to do. Manage your expectations.
It's something that has to be emphasized so heavily, and people need to understand that this is not week by week. This is the entire season. We are looking for overall P&L ROI. That is what we are looking for. Profit.
And it's hard to understand sometimes from a viewer standpoint, because they come and go. Not a lot of people are not as many. It's just, there's a reason, there's a path, there's a method to the madness, so to speak.
Right.
And that's why,
What was that question on Luka?
Luka was, oh no, wrong one. Was, can he carry the weight alone tonight in a decent Golden State team? I don't think so.
I wouldn't trust it.
No, Reeves is gonna have 24 to 26. Hachimura better have at least 12 and a half, but he's going to have 16. You got to have some other players step in there. And by the way, JJ Redick, tell the Lakers to play some effing defense for once.
I take a look at that total in that game.
They got 8. They got Ayton in the middle now. They got Ayton in the middle.
Yeah.
Down from Portland. Hopefully he can be kind of a stopgap there in the middle for him this year.
Who knows with the NBA? Like, let me get my dice out. I'm just gonna throw them. We can flip a coin.
More about the NBA about a week and a half in. The NBA is one of those seasons that when everything kind of starts, it's haywire in the beginning. You start picking up. That is my most cautious starting sport.
Yeah, we do this. We do this for a living, and you're sitting around watching this show, going, "Who the hell do I take in the NBA tonight? I just don't know." Guess what? That's exactly how I feel. and I do.
Dude.
So that's why I'm not putting them out till I get a feel for the old girl.
Right.
It's like, hey, you gonna go buy the car off the lot, or are you gonna test drive it first?
Right.
Just can't do it based on looks. You got to test drive the old girl first. So let's give it a test drive. I've only had 3 plays in the NHL. My third one night. And by the way, free play in the NHL tonight. Take a look at that Nashville Anaheim under 6.5. I like that. Martial arts out, for Nashville. And of course, there's Soros 1.96 goals allowed so far. And Anaheim, their last 2 games, both losses, 1 goal in each game. I like that under a little bit there tonight.
Somebody was asking too about that Oilers game. I'd be careful with that one. Skinner's in net tonight. He's 1-2-1 on the season. And right now, Edmonton is not putting a lot of points in or pucks in the net. They're averaging 2.5 goals a game. And Ottawa, on the other hand, they are scoring a lot of points right now, 11th in the NHL. And Edmonton on the road laying a number, -130. So they're baiting plus value with the Senators in this one. I wouldn't play this game, but if I did, I'd take the Senators at home plus value.
I'm on the draw.
You're on the draw.
I'm on the draw in that game. That's the only draw.
I never played that angle that much, and I'm gonna watch and learn a little bit and pick your brain on that because I know you're real good at it.
I'll tell you right now, like Tony, you mentioned that Nashville game, and you like the under and stuff like that. It's going to be a tight game. That's potentially a draw for me because I could see that game ending up 2-1, 3-2,
Lenny,
right around there in overtime. You know what I mean? So. And they're like small plays, especially right now because it's the, nothing major,
right.
Just kind of, but I mean, in that Nashville game, you can find 6s all day, but there is a 6.5 out there. It's a little juicy, but I'm just saying, I like and those draws plus 280, plus 320, throw a $50 bill on there. Take the winnings, go to Baskin Robbins, buy yourself a members only jacket, do all that stuff. Be crazy, folks. Let's Docs Daily. We're going to take off. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 1:00 Eastern. Tell them what you got going on tonight at the site. Griffin Murphy, start first.
I've got 2 NHL plays tonight, very small volume, 2 units apiece, and a player, college football player prop. Rushing prop as well as a NHL prop, 5 units in total. And that is all I have tonight, as well as 2 unit in the NBA playing very small particular. It is a totals play.
I have 1 play today, a 3-unit hockey play. Doesn't sound sexy, doesn't sound outlandish. There is value. And by the way, Diane, if you're watching on the Betting 101 series, there's a whole video about 3 and 4 unit plays, and Griff and I talk about this all the time. There are value just because they're not 7 and 8 and 6 unit plays. They're the best bets on the board. My hockey play, in my opinion, is the best bet on the board. I just want a 3-unit position, the tortoise and the hare. Slow and steady is going to win the race. Yep. And I take a look for a freebie tonight, maybe a little Louisiana Tech action in college football. FYI.
We didn't talk too much about college football, but there's not a whole lot going on. I mean, there's, Kennesaw State and FIU is not a game I'm going, whoa, when do they play? I'm not circling that on the calendar, nor am I Louisiana Tech and Western Kentucky, but
Western Kentucky sucked last week, man. That was terrible.
Nuts.
They got Ripley and 10. But Louisiana Tech's got a little ball club. I'm just saying. Keep an eye on that.
LSU early on in the season. I mean, they've had a tough schedule too, Louisiana Tech. And
now they're getting into the meat and potato of it. And there's going to be some good college football for me this weekend after going 0-3 last week. The Gridiron 6-pack will have some great marquee games on there. We'll be talking Nebraska Northwestern. I'm going to beat the shit out of these guys. You're playing YouTube channel what I give you last week.
Right.
I gave you the Golden Gophers. I don't pick them because I like them.
I gave you the golden ticket and the Golden Gophers, folks. There you go.
I love me some Nebraska when they're a favorite and I get to fade them. Money.
I'm all over St. Louis Blues though tonight. I agree with you, Scott. Okay. She agrees. Slow and steady, Jack. I don't know. Bowling Green. I don't know what happened last week, man. That was bad.
Oh man,
Bowling Green.
What happened?
I don't. That was one of my favorite plays on Saturday.
I went
1-3 on Saturday.
Who's coaching them?
Huh?
Who's coaching them? Not Eddie George, is it?
Central Miss.
No, he's coaching.
Somebody famous is coaching them.
It's Eddie George.
Bowling Green. I thought he was
George.
at
Eddie George.
And Eddie George, see this, Eddie? You should have never won the Heisman. It should have been Tommy Frazier that year. Just so you know. But like Griffin, I don't carry any bitterness over.
No bitterness. Diane says she no longer bets 4 units. Maybe again one day.
God damn.
You gotta, you build it up, you wait till it's time to smack something, and then you smack something. So yeah, I agree, Diane. All right, we're out of here. Good luck unless you're against us. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern.